Hey, there we go. What's going on, guys? Hey, and there you are, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been all of 2.5 days, something like that. um, what a great Wednesday so far has been for us. Great week overall. I can't complain. I got my rest on Monday, so I can't complain about any of it. Thank you for coming on. Looking forward to talking through the whole weekend with you. Um, I'll preface it. We can hold on to some of it until we usually wait about the 5 minutes or so. We kind of ramble, but I got to share with you, man. I had a fantastic time, and I didn't even get to play, and I had a great time. So folks were awesome to us. Getting to see everybody. Some folks I don't ever get to see. Um, Dougie's always a big smile. Can't beat that. So it really was a great time. It really was.
we yeah, we had a blast from our end. It was just tons of fun.
It's there she is. How you doing, Lori? It's every. I remember the first time. I guess it was up at Black Ops. Was the first time I like saw you and the whole family, the kids there and things like that. And they were all smaller than me back then. They're not now. I almost borrowed her bicycle because I was like, listen, I fit better on that than you. Um, it's amazing. It made me think about the people that we get close to, that we get to know just in this community, watching families grow. And that's, I've talked about that all the time, but that was very, very, very apparent, seeing your family this weekend.
Yeah, they've become a big part. One of the things is when we get into this Milsim thing, we like to travel on the weekends, and with the kids getting older, we're starting to see limited time with the older ones. Right, my son's 16, so time's short, and then Kelsey is homeschooled now, so first grade homeschool is just wow. It's fully engaging. So I've got to limit my amount of travel, and when I do travel now, it's like, hey, we got you guys want to go, and Aaron's such a huge part of our fundraising on site at our events. He runs our vendor
Mhm.
table. He runs setting up the bleed trainer, any SFX stuff that we need. Aaron's the guy that's doing it, and he's also collecting, quick footage so we can push out, some content right after to keep the excitement rolling. So the videos coming out, those are Aaron. He's doing a really good job. Rachel's, my right hand
Oh,
on
for
this.
sure.
She's amazing. Supports the craziness of us traveling and telling me to get out of the house. She appreciates the hiatus that I was on for most of this year, just to recharge and come back. And this weekend was just like, oh wow, we missed everybody so much. Like it was just such a really great time, and to have that family unit cohesion. We saw lots of families, so it was really great to have that time together. Not only just with my family interacting with the VFA, but the community itself. Getting to see these kids grow up. We look at I'll mention the Reeds family, right? What's up, Snake? Uh, Roger and his kids, Conrad and Bennett, we've watched them grow up in the Milsom community and the local airsoft community. And, you got kids going to college, kids getting his flight wings. Dad's super proud to watch his kids grow up. So it's really cool. I mean, Papa, you watch your kid grow up, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like when what's up, Christopher? When I get, Google pops up. Here's a memory for you. Here's a memory for you. First of all, almost all the memories of my son that pop up are either him in ROTC uniforms or him in airsoft uniforms. It's I don't, he's not in any regular clothes. Um, but it's, I get to see him. I see the phases of him from 11 years old to 23 years old, and him coming through all of that, and knowing and remembering that he got me into this. It's because of my bond with him that we developed in this, that I keep pushing forward for this. And then to see you. your whole family. I mean, he is my whole family, but yours is much larger than mine, and it is. They are all still involved. They're all still a part of it. And now I've known you. Got to be
It was 2019 Starburst.
yeah. So yeah. So what? 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been that amount of time, and so seeing the family, even if it's every 4 to 6 months or whatever it is, seeing you guys, seeing the family grow and come together and work more together and all of that, and all the other families are watching them grow together. So kids from one family, kids from another family are friends. It's not just the parents anymore. It's the kids that get together, and it's awesome to see. It really is fantastic to see. That to me, that's 90% of this. The other 10% is shooting those kids. But you know,
Yeah, I heard that.
yeah.
It's
So
it's really great to like turn around and watch these other gentlemen who also serve their country um, interacting with these kids, and them to be able to take direction and laugh and joke, and they get to see a very wide range of how folks interact with each other. Usually I'm a hermit. I'm either going fishing, or we're going to the store, or we're doing lessons on the computer. My life's been kind of boring these days, but yeah, this weekend was just so exciting. So I can't
it,
wait to dig into it, man.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
The mission of VFA, and I got a chance to say a little something about it when you had me up for the raffle. What a great thing it does. Going to a VFA event versus something sponsored by VFA, going to a VFA event and seeing the guys that are there, seeing the guys that get a chance to come out, seeing the guys that I've seen maybe once or twice or three times before, and seeing their evolution, not just, we were talking about the family evolution, but seeing the veteran evolution as well. Seeing some of these guys who absolutely need this. They absolutely need to. This is their therapy. This is the one thing that they can latch on to, that carries them through. That is their relief. That is something fantastic. Um, that's something fantastic to bring out, and I definitely want to talk some about that again this weekend, because it's not just he didn't just put on a game. It is the charity game. So I definitely want to talk about that as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so this was the second iteration of Redacted. Um, right, and go ahead. Floor is yours.
So Redacted 2, our first uh, Veterans Day event. We've been kind of aiming for one for a while. We're always attending events on Veterans Day, and but yeah, man, let's go for it. We got the AO. So this one was dedicated to those who served, and
Mhm.
so all military got free tickets. Across the board, we donated 76 tickets, which didn't meet the Six Flags, but we didn't have 500 players either. So Six Flags we gave 100. The last Redacted we did 62. This one we're 74.
Nice.
So good. That's the mission, is for us to provide Milsim experiences, and these events are allowing us to have a bigger impact.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of guys that are like, I wouldn't have been able to come. I got the scratch. There's this, there's that. We just want to give them a reason to say, yeah, hey, come play with us. So aside from that, we're working with other charities. The two charities that we were working with, or organizations we were working with, obviously Toys for Tots. So we got two huge boxes of toys donated. So super stoked about that. Those got picked up on Sunday.
Nice, nice.
And then we had camping for this one. The first one we didn't have camping. We want everybody off site overnight, just for security reasons. We wanted to make sure that we had a first clean run. This one we were able to work with the Mount Vernon Historic Society. And so we camped on their property. Staff camped on their property. We had just over 30 staff. And of our staff, 80%, 85%, I think is rough numbers here, guys, are vets who have been through our program and are now coming back as volunteers to assist with cadre, red shirt. Um,
Yeah, I definitely saw some new faces.
yeah.
I talked to, and I apologize, I don't remember his name. The bigger dude came down from Pennsylvania. had a good conversation with
Yeah,
him.
you're a fantastic dude.
Yeah, he seemed really stoked to be there. He was like very positive energy, very, very good, strong, positive energy from him. And I love seeing it. I love seeing the guys that come down. They're just all about it. And it's super cool to see that. I don't mean to interrupt, but I just
No,
it in my head.
if you hit the Fraggle lane, you got to meet Gunny. Dude was like, wanted to bring him in. Last event we had Adam. Unfortunately, Adam had family emergency on his way to the AO. But Gunny stepped up. Yuri, sorry, stepped up, and me and him, um, kind of knocked the Frago off, and we can't wait to see the feedback from guys. But the feedback is, holy cow! Like, did you guys bring a K9? Like, yes, we did. Um, we did a lot of firsts again at this one, some ideas that were kicking around. So this event was really, really, really cool in the aspect that guys were like, yeah, that was cool to be able to do that. So yeah, the Frago lane is definitely a hit. We pull guys from each faction during the main mission off
Mhm.
the field. We throw them in the Fraggle lane. We break them down. We de-kit them, right? And we assign leadership. And Yuri was really great getting in there and, give me 1 and 2. Good. Give me 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Give me your fire team squads. Good. Now give me all leadership up here. And we briefed the mission really fast, work the sand table. Anybody got any questions, kid up and hit the lane. So Fraggle lane was awesome.
Hey, bang him. Yeah, I actually heard guys talking about it. By the way, you guys are gonna hear me say a whole bunch of I heard, I heard, I heard. I did not get the opportunity to play. I manned the station. I manned the booth, but my guys got to play, so I got to hear all about it. So I definitely heard. Guys came back, and I heard some of the other folks talking about that they had gotten through the Frago and all that, and they had a great time. So
Yeah.
so I'll tell you, you're gonna hear me keep saying also, I didn't hear a single negative thing. There's the one intrusion. I'm sure we'll get to. Not yet. We'll get there because we'll have to talk about that. Something that you never get to hear, so it's always something special at a VFA event. Um, but no, I heard. I mean, really, really, just great things. Everybody coming back, fantastic things. So yeah, that's good. The Fraggles they were talking big about, and I heard a lot about the AO itself. Talk a little bit about that, the layout. I know that you're actually playing around. Some of the buildings there are. Uh, I heard you mention it. They are part of the whole thing is the historic society, but there's actually buildings there that like don't do any damage to because they are historic buildings. Am I correct in that? Am I
Yeah.
saying it the
So,
right way?
so the front of the house area where we are, Superintendent's Drive, where Vendor Row is, that front space, green space, belongs to the Historic Society. And up until we had gotten behind the wall, they kind of were just like, "There's a white wall. What's behind the wall stays behind the wall." And we convinced the state to let us get behind the wall and utilize 36 acres with three. You got 3 eras of buildings here. Okay, so you got the Civil War era arsenal, which were all the buildings that were white, right?
Mhm.
On that front big white house that we did opening ceremony at, that's actually where Geronimo is kept. They've got plans to.
Yeah, I heard about that. I thought somebody was joking at first, and they said, "No, no, no, really, this is where." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, so the history here is just it is intense, right? That wall that goes, almost all the way around those 36 acres of
Mhm.
compound that we're playing in, that was built in the Civil War. Those were hand put in, bricks laid. There's sections of the wall falling in the back, so you could see like how old it really is. And then you've got early 1900s, which are the very large column buildings where the roofs, the red colored buildings where the roofs are just dilapidated and destroyed. What's up, Gat? Say what's up to Mattis. That dog rocks. Um, so, and then you've got the 3-story medical compounds, the cafeteria, and those are, more modern day buildings. So you have 3 eras of buildings on this facility, and then it's surrounded by some ravines because that's the highest point. Mount Vernon Arsenal Cersei Hospital is the highest point in the county. Um, so there's some height going on there. What up, Wiener? We had wieners this weekend. Yeah. Shout out to Willie's Wieners.
A whole booth of wieners, yes.
Yeah, and some ribs. Yeah, so the AO is really unique. We're excited to open up outside the gate, meaning that fence line that runs that entire perimeter. There's a little bit more space we're going to use at our next one. Hint, hint. We're going to use a little bit more of the ground space. And I still think people haven't seen every aspect of the AO. If you're a CQB guy, you're like, hey, man, I want to stick to the indoor buildings. Like, you could totally do that. Hey, I'm a woods guy. There's definitely kudzu you can fight through. So, yeah, AO is freaking badass.
Yeah, it was. I only got to peek my head in a little bit. The guys came back, and Jacob especially was talking about when him and Benny were talking about where they were fighting from. The areas they're like, I don't know, I was over here fighting to this bit, and like they're showing me on the map, and they were all about it. Like it was, they were dove. Well, obviously they dove in. You saw the uniforms they were wearing. That's their thing, though, man. They absolutely love it. They're all a part. They spent a lot of time and money on those World War II uniforms. So, absolutely, it was.
No, they look great.
Yeah, those are my special little children over here. um, but yeah, the AO itself. You see some of the photos, guys. If you haven't seen them, go and check them out. People are posting them all over the place. I'll have some thrown up. I'm sure I know you. And it's really laid out like super well. And from my understanding, every aspect of the gameplay was put together in a very intelligent way.
Yeah, we've had some large events here lately that we've learned from, right? From staffing issues to biting off more than we can chew, to managing where the creative wants to go and where the player base will meet that creative. And I think that's probably the best way to sum up um, being the dungeon master, as some would call it, right? Designing, these immersion exercises. This one, numbers, tan numbers were down. So it's like, well, what do you do? Do you handicap them here? Do you handicap them there? So we played with things like forward CCP flags. So tan saw a CCP flag where green didn't. They had to work together to make sure that they didn't have that long walk back to the alfalfas. The positioning of the alfalfas was I think a thumbs up from the players. They were a little bit happier with that. And then with the objectives, we took them and moved them from region to region of the AO. So you could stay and fight in the gymnasium, right? And the gymnasium was being fought over so much, and there wasn't a freaking objective in there. As we get into mission set 3, and Dave looks at me and he's like, fuck it, dude. I'm putting an objective in the middle of the gymnasium. I know you said you didn't want one in there, but let's do it. And so we put the objective in there, and guess what?
Nobody fought there.
There's very little action there.
You guys, it's airsofters, man. They're gonna fight where they think they want to fight. Now you could tell them all that there's a pot of gold that you get to keep. You get to take it home with you. It's real gold, and if it's not in what they perceive as the coolest place to fight and kill people, they won't even go near it. You know that.
Yeah. And then the whole Frago lane was all about Morse code. So codes were supposed to, manila envelopes were supposed to be collected from the dead, right? Shadow Bane's guys on the Frago lane. And then if they did recon really well, which they did because Doug collected 4 decoding Morse code charts, Jonah collected 2. So they had them. But again, the AO and the fighting and everything involved into what we're throwing in, guys were like, I don't give 2 shits about these coded messages. So you spend all this time typing up these messages, making sure it's all, coded so you don't give them the wrong manila envelopes. But yeah, little aspects like that. We keep it simple. We try to keep it simple. We try to keep it fun. And we're learning. Like I said, we're learning each event. This one, minus the knock knock. Oh wait, they didn't even knock. They just broke in. Those jackasses. And the fact that did hinder us, and it hinders the player base. It hurts them. I think we made up for it on Sunday by pulling off the idea that there was going to be a choice for you to do anything other than the Frago. And so we took the Frago, we took all staff, kitted them up. Me and Yuri just decided, hey, let's get these 2 factions to step off their alphas and come to the center of the AO. And we see this at events all the time that do a LARPing aspect. So they come to the center of the AO, break it down. What up, Yordi?
Oh, it's a squid.
What's up, dude? What were you doing down there, bro? You were down there for a while.
I was getting my inner squid on.
Nice. You got what? You got some right there,
your insides? You're the one who said it. I don't know.
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. We're just chit-chatting about the weekend. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm happy, that you've been taxiing us for 250 years now.
Yeah. Doing it, man. Doing it big.
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Good. Hey, we needed you this weekend. Provide us that Mew security, bro.
Let my ankle heal a little bit. All right. Papa kicked my ass on the last event.
Yeah, I bet, dude.
But
my legs are short, but they work.
Yeah. I've never seen anybody move through the heavy brushes so graceful.
I don't move. Graceful. I don't move through the brush. I move under the brush.
Yeah, he's got a low center of gravity, dude. It's like a squirrel.
I was telling someone this weekend that when I push through, if I can get under it, I can move right through, and I'll hold it up for the taller guys behind me. There is occasion where I'll be pushing through, thinking I'm bigger than I am, though, and I'll try to just mash my way through. It doesn't work. It just does not. I look like a cartoon just being slung backwards.
Yeah,
some of that thick stuff's at the bottom, dude.
Yeah, for me it was the opposite way. Once I went through it, the trees were like, "Oh hell."
Dude, them players this weekend had to battle through that kudzu, man. They could have used your little height advantage. I don't know if Dave's in the chat, but he's got a funny story about getting into a fight with the kudzu.
Yeah, I don't know if I might be wrong, but I saw VFA posted there's going to be another Redacted.
No, we've got our charity game in the spring. It will be back there. We're putting a pause in Redacted, and we're going to try something different.
Way to jump way ahead of the stream.
Yeah, it's good though. He's excited, man. Leave him alone, man.
There's an outline of how things go when you do these things. There's a professional manner you do.
Yeah, so
and just like a Marine, I'm just going to go head first. And
yeah, exactly. I was going to say normally our LOI and our SOI is like
he bulldogged that, dude.
Yeah.
Default aggressive.
Where's my crayons and paper? Let me go give him something to do.
Brother, what are you doing?
Here you go.
Home Depot.
Look, are you hungry? Go ahead. There it is. I got him. There we go.
Awesome seeing you again.
It's not a crayon, dude.
Social media stuff.
All right, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Something other than
always a welcome intrusion. Oh goodness. So, yeah. So I don't even know where we were. Fraggle lanes were great. But you you dynamically adjusted for player interest, I guess is the easy way to say it. Player enthusiasm. You tried to see, now that's the problem. You tried to see what they were doing and then adapt to it, and too late they moved on to the next thing. Just like the ADHD squirrels they are, they moved on to the next one.
Yeah. What were we talking about?
I think the last thing was,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
yeah.
just kidding. No, yeah, I mean, the players, you want the players to be happy, but then at the same time, player expectations sometimes can get crazy.
Mhm.
I think with our events, the mission that we are and what we're doing, everything that's involved with it, we're getting good attitudes. We're not getting bad attitudes. We're getting people who are understanding what we're trying to do. We're not trying to give you 300 versus 300 force on force. Everything's even. You all get to, have trophies at the end. We're putting on simulation, and sometimes you're severely outnumbered.
Yeah.
So when Tan had to pull their guys for the Fraggle lane, they felt that. And then when guys got pulled from the green side to go into the Fraggle lane, they could step on the gas. And I have to say that the Tan guys that came out to play, they got everything that they wanted from the AO, from the battle. There wasn't a short change of bodies on the field
No.
for them to shoot at, for sure. And I know Doug was green commander. He managed attrition on his side really well. And I'm sure Jonah would have appreciated a little bit more attrition from Green, but Green came out and just spanked that ass, man. It just, I got green deep down in my heart. I was wearing green this weekend. So,
You know, I'll give you some props here. One of the things that I've seen looking from the outside and running local games for 8 years now, one of the things I've learned and I'm starting to see being picked up uh, more, I don't want to say aggressively from event producers, and these are the event producers that are successful, such as yourself, is that you want the players to be happy. You want them to walk away having a great time, but you can't be focused on catering to them, and that's where I've seen failure on my side before. If we've ever tried to run a game to make them happy, you'll fail every time. It's not about making them happy; it's about them having a great time.
yeah.
That great time is struggle, challenge, make them push things like that. If you go, what do you guys want to do today? You'll fail every time, every time.
Honestly, we had a young gentleman on Sunday that was like, we pushed everybody down a lane, went in and hit the 3-story, bam, 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 security set, the fights on Facebook all over the place. And then we pulled him out into the back parking lot, got a head count, and then freaking we continue on mission. We're not done, guys. Like then all the players are like, wait, we're not done. And some of the guys were like, hey, you gonna ask us what we want to do? Like, what are we gonna do right now? We just called a truce. We teamed up. We hit this raid hard and fast. We assaulted this building. Now we're gonna quick boom reset. We got to continue mission, and the expectation is that we just go back to green versus tan. It's just, dude, yeah. So when you make an executive decision, you follow through with it. And are you going to please everybody? No, but if you please the higher percentage, then we don't turn into a socialist country, and I'm okay with that, right? Because we can't change for one person. We cannot change for a
Right.
handful of people when there's a mass of people,
Yep.
right? You cut off one finger so the rest of the hand doesn't get infected.
Absolutely.
There might be a saying or something like that around the.
No, and I think you did a great job of it. I remember hearing at one point somebody said, I think it was on Sunday or leading into Sunday or whatever it was, you should ask people what they want to do. No, you don't. No, you want that. You and your buddies go out into the woods. That's fine. You guys go. This is an event that's planned. That is organized for the entire mass, not for the individual. And here's how it's going to be played. Regardless of what happens, there's a plan, and you executed that unwaveringly, which was fantastic.
Yeah, preparation goes into it.
Hmm.
So anybody who's like, hey, I want to host an event, dude, do it. Plan the work and then work the plan. My team will tell you that back when we were at Camp Liberty, running those smaller games, I would shoot from the hip because I could have that luxury. The player base was small enough that if this happened or this happened, I could shift it. And what we found was the staff was like, yeah, we don't like that. You can't shoot from the hip. You got to. So these guys got playbooks this time. So the top guys at the top that were controlling the momentum and starting on time every time, which is we hit every hit time on time perfectly. Most of the time we were ready to go ahead of time. So that's a first. With the player base responding to the schedule not being budged on. And I think the guys who are really bought in, the guys that continue these events, back-to-back weekends. We saw players back-to-back weekends, right? Guys are hitting the events. You hit the event back-to-back weekend. Guys are doing it. I know what it feels like. And when you put the time and you put the money into it, you don't want the rules to be bent for those players. You don't want the event host to change things because of those players. We've all been those players at times, right?
Mhm.
But the reality is, man, attitudes start and end with you. Bad attitudes specifically. We had no bad attitudes this weekend.
No, I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Everybody was just like, I think they were so dog shit smoke, dude.
Well,
Because the micro terrain kills you.
you touched on it. One of the things, and regardless of the sport you play, I was an athlete growing up. I wrestled, I played football, I played hockey. The harder it is, the harder you train, the harder you play, the more rewarding it becomes. And I think we're in a phase right now. We talked a little bit about the whole reset, and I truly believe we're in this big reset moment. That if all of us who are responsible for the community helps the community do this reset, and we continue to add the challenge. Don't continue to cater. Don't start offering 2-for-1 tickets. Don't drop your standards down. Raise your standards up and elevate the community instead. And I think that's what's been happening. I know for sure that's what happened this past weekend. Everybody that was there, they were smoked, like you said. They were just beat. And they had better attitudes than guys that just quit.
Yeah.
When you got players that just quit because, man, whatever, they have bad attitudes. When you get smoked, you're like, oh, you feel good. You want that. You feel great after a hard day's work. No matter how tired you are, you feel good because you feel accomplished. And I really think that that's something that happened this weekend for sure. I've been doing that a lot lately. Every event I go to look. I never used to play night games. I'm playing night games now, which I can't believe it. Um, I still don't have any nods, but whatever. I'm blind. But it's you work hard, and we make these guys work hard. They're going to appreciate it. They're going to respect it, and they're going to want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's something that you really brought out in everybody this weekend for sure.
I think the team. First of all, it's a team effort. So, as much as everybody may want to be like, "Oh, Freddie," man, I did a lot of the heavy lifting going into the event. But once I got there, man, there were multiple times I looked at Rachel and I was like, "What am I supposed to be doing?" I haven't set up the kitchen. I haven't fully set up my tent. I haven't done this. I haven't done this. I haven't done this. And she goes, no, your staff is executing
Yeah.
the plan that you put out. And it's like, I just think a huge thank you to you guys, all the volunteers, all my teammates, all the new guys that came in. Thank you guys, because not only did you guys just take this huge weight off my shoulders so I could be happy and enjoy the hobby again, but I think that unit cohesion is what all of us are really striving for.
Mhm.
And we got to touch that this weekend from a team aspect. And then the product that's delivered, which was the event, it was top notch across the board.
Sure.
Safety was great. Medical response was great. Security was great. All those little things that players don't notice. When the staff takes care of it, you have a really great event. And when they don't take care of it, that's when you start bitching players and this and that, and attitudes go right out the window. So thank you guys for jumping on the crazy train with me.
Here's our man who had his willy out right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So We knew the hot dog cart was going to be a hit. We didn't know it was going to be that big of a hit because guys were like, I don't have that much time. Let me just get a hot dog. And then you'd come over the top with your freaking breakfast, man. I was like, is that what I think it is? French toast? What? Dude, guys, so we've struggled with food at the past event. And this one between you and Willie, dude, thank you guys. If the player base won't thank you guys, which I'm sure they did.
Oh yeah, no,
Dude, you guys killed it. You killed it, Greg, on the the ones and twos. Now, every time I came over to chit chat with you, you were always black gloves,
dude,
getting into some meat.
I got to do one of the things I loved. I mean, I love coming where I get to vend like that because I'm doing everything that I love all together. I'm with the community. I'm taking care of folks. I'm getting to cook, which I absolutely love. So all of those things all at once coming together is why it was an amazing day for me, or amazing weekend for me, because it was I got to do all of those things. I got to see these people. I got to take care of these people. I got to talk with them and watch them have a good time and help do my part in facilitating that, which was great. And I didn't get a chance to yet. I mean, I thank you first, but I want to thank you again, having us out there, having me out there. Um, it's an honor to do it. Absolutely a bigger pleasure, just as big a pleasure for me to do it as well. So, yeah, it was an awesome time for me.
Yeah, the player base appreciates you, man. That's definitely appreciate you too, Willie. So yeah, food's always a big thing. So, all right, what else we got? Pierce was asking. I think we had one heat pause. It happened directly in front of me. He just got a little overexerted in the Frago lane. It's always the fair skinned fellas. Yeah, we just do the quick ones and twos, unstrap them and get them cooled down. Picked his gear up, walked off the thing. We had an elbow that had to go. Was responded to really good. I think we had a couple bandages handed out. But outside of that, man, the player base took care of itself.
Yeah.
And that's a huge, huge stress relief for anybody that does any type of event producing or hosting any type of events. If the player base is not taking care of themselves when we're physically exerting ourselves in the way that we are, which if you don't exercise, man, you guys are crushing your heart rate at like 85, 95% for extended periods of time. And then you're carrying all this gear and you're not eating properly. Maybe you're drinking, and water, the worst thing, I've been to events. We've had events where it's like heat cat. There's that one event up north that was like 82 heat cats. We overloaded the ER. Why we can't do that? It's irresponsible.
Yeah, it trying to get. I mean, I think it seems like over the past like 18 months, everybody's really, really pushed the whole hydrate thing. I think it's because we started seeing a lot of them. You hear everybody talking about it, and it seems like it should be a no brainer, but it's not. It's absolutely not. You got guys that are they're dry scooping pre workout and then getting on the field in 92-degree weather. What are you doing? Don't chase it with a monster and then go out and play. Not a good idea. Not a good idea.
None of this is aerobic exercise. This is all anaerobic, guys. You're just breaking from one place to the next, sitting in the corner, huffing your breath, shrugging your hips.
Yeah, no. And I try to tell these guys they're also that you're not as nimble as you think you are because you're wearing gear you don't wear on an everyday basis. First of all, right? So these guys are trying to jump through windows.
It's
You're
amazing.
not making that jump.
Cats, dude.
Yeah, not happening.
It's some of them. Some of these young kids can move, man. Some of these skinny cats, I'm like, whoa. I got some moves too. I showed them this weekend. I was giggling, laughing. Everybody's having a really good time, man. Just we were having a really good time until it got real. Yeah, and that was it's a good segue into the 8 p.m. intruders. So I said something Sunday quietly again, we're respecting our relationship with the state. We want to respect the legal process here, but when there's no trespassing signs, and you decide that you're just going to come on in, and then you're going to have a bag of tools, and you're going to have a bag of spray paint. Me and my crew are going to go, and do our own frago. And so got a call. There's some intruders.
Definitely
And
one way to put it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I got to where the entry point was, and we worked right alongside local police. Fantastic dudes. They were processing the car. Said that when they were done with that, they'd come inside the wire and help us, but we had them within 10 minutes. Bright lit, surrounded.
Yep.
I was, what are you guys doing? Not being too smart. Police came in, did what they did, and now they're on the news. Honorable mention to Veterans for Airsoft for being great community members. No, but in all seriousness, I had to make the executive call at about 8:20, 8:30. After cuffs were on, I realized that these guys had some work to do, figuring out who was who, what was what. It took them an hour to clear. I'm glad I made the call at 8:20. I went straight to my COs. I said, "Hey guys, this is not what we want to hear. It's not what we want to do, but this is not our property, and this is the legal way that these guys are going to handle it. So just apologize to the player base, Tom. We'll see him in the morning." And then we cleared the real world, and I sat down with Big Steve and Yuri, and we were like, "Hey man, you want to just give them all the frago?" And so that we sat down with Doug and Jonah. We talked to the staff. They were excited not to have to wear red shirts on Sunday. Dave was really excited because as we were hitting it off on Sunday, Dave was able to go and close up like 80% of the AO. So we were off site before 5 p.m. I mean, it was wham bam. So even though Saturday night we had some FAFO happen, I think all of us as staff can appreciate moments like that. We had Six Flags. Six Flags was a huge safety thing. A lot of the community don't realize that most of the guys on my staff that have security backgrounds or combat backgrounds, stuff like that, we were on 100% of the time. We were on, and we were on this weekend too. Busted 3 knuckleheads Saturday morning running across the Frago lane as I was going to do my final setup. I was scared the bejesus out of them, and we kicked them and made them run. Urban explorers, right? We find these AOs because of these urban explorers, right? But the reality is we got agencies training on that facility with real steel.
Mm-hmm.
We're on site. We ran the range during our event. That may be a surprise to people, but we had people shoot AR this weekend that have never shot AR on Friday during that recon phase.
Nice.
And so when we're doing stuff like that, and we've got the level of pyrotechnics that we're doing, and even though we're using blank fire, simfire rifles, we still are shooting airsoft. Mm-hmm. And if you see 4 knuckleheads, you're going to assume that they're probably part of the game. They're not just like you. And now we got a bigger issue than we need. So
I will say that from an outsider's point of view, trying to always listening to what's happening, even everything that you did for taking care of what you had to take care of Saturday night, it was still well received by the community. And there were didn't hear any grumblings, anything like that. Everybody understood. Actually, it was funny. A lot of people understood right away because they were made aware of what was going on. Yeah. People laughed about it, and you were like, "Oh, okay, well, I get it." It wasn't like, "Oh, well, that sucks." No, of course it's not what anybody planned on, but they took it well. You conveyed it well. They took it well. So it was very well received by everybody that was there.
Yeah. Best case scenario, all the way across. Nobody got hurt. Yeah. We found them quickly. Had a little bit of a team building exercise, so to speak, because then we had to go through accountability, right? Because now we got guys out. We got guys out on nods. with no lights, and we're like, hey, we got to recall these guys. Oh, they forgot to bring their radios. No, and then silver lining, me and the guys and the staff and everybody, Rachel and everybody kind of got to get together and have an extra hour that night of camaraderie, which led into an extra hour. And we don't get that a lot, when we're putting on events, the teams putting them on, and the people in vendor row, and people in the command staff. Your time is limited when you're split amongst all of these things. So it's nice to just kind of decompress. Greg, you came into camp. We got to, it definitely kidnapped you. You're supposed to be doing some inverter work. We kidnapped Greg. We're like, hey, here's a chair. You must sit down. So yeah, it's good. So
it was
lots of fun. So
yeah,
continue the mission, man. Building the brotherhood and connecting vets to Milsim, and whatever you put into it is kind of what you're going to get out. That's what was told to me when I first started this thing. And that's what we tell these guys. What do you want out of it? Because that's the work you're going to put out. And the event that you guys got this weekend was nothing short of what the VFA staff is putting into this thing. And I can't wait to see what we do in 2026, man.
It's funny you mentioned Six Flags. Comparing, like going back to the different events that you run, Six Flags being obviously dramatically different than the majority of your events. The style of play, the size of play, like the amount of people that were there, all of those kind of things. You see, if you know what to look for, you see the difference in your staffing, your volunteers. This one was lockstep. Really, the guys that you had at this one, not to take away anything from anybody else, but this one absolutely 100% lockstep. You had guys, they were on, they knew, and you touched on it before, and I don't think people picked up on it. And if people don't really know you, kind of like I do, or I talked about it with Rachel as well, that you actually had a chance to go, all right, we ready? And everybody's already doing their job. You're like, oh, what do I do? I don't know what to do with my hand.
I felt very unimportant, man. I was like, should I just go sit in a chair with a jelly donut or something? Like, what the hell? No, like, so this is a big thing, right? So I have trouble giving up control. And this weekend, I didn't feel the need to control anything. The safety brief went off without a hitch. I did not give a safety brief. I talked one time and realized that I was annoying my top, who was handling the safety brief, and I walked away. We had a couple things in Chrono. We always got, hey, I've got this weapon system and this, and it's, working together, everything's, and I'm just like, I told Rachel multiple times, I don't know what to do. Like, I really don't know what to do. And what I got to do was the little stuff. Like, I packed the trailer. I've ordered a lot of the supplies, so I know where everything's at. And so I just started unpacking it. So when it came time to do those little things that suck up so much time, trying to find a battery bag or, getting weapon systems, those Simfire weapon systems, I got to be an armorer again this weekend. Like, I actually got to take the time to safety check all the weapons the way that we wanted to do. And the stuff that is small to others that I kind of really enjoy to do, I got to do this weekend because these guys were just like, they were on point. I got to put a uniform on. I got to insert myself into the Fraggle lane the entire time. And I didn't have to respond to every freaking radio call. It was already, like you said, like, he came up and I'm like, hey guys, all right, and that's done. And that's done. And that's done. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. Like, let's just kick it. Let's hang out. So
you get to a point where you're kind of afraid that you're forgetting something because there's nothing to do. And you're like, did I miss something? And no, you didn't miss. That's the best part is,
or did I go DTD, because sometimes you're like, forget where I'm at 3 hours later.
Yeah.
Find me at the park throwing,
you definitely had, there was, anywhere you looked, there was somebody to answer a question. Anywhere you went, there was somebody that was controlling the lane or was controlling the game. It was always on point, and that was great to see. I know that that it's hard to do. I run events, and I've been lucky enough, knock on wood, to have a great crew with me every time. But even still, there's always something that can happen that means that you get brought out onto the field. And I used to tell my guys, tell all the players, if I have to come out onto the field because of you, you're probably getting thrown off. My guys should be able to handle this, and if they call me to come take care of you, you're probably getting thrown out of the game.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
And to not ever be called on makes me sometimes worry that, wait, did I miss something? Is something not happening? Should I? Nope, step away. Let your guys do what they did, and you got a chance to really get that experience this time to lay back and go. Planning does actually help. Having good people is actually worthwhile. Having all that, yeah, we are there, and it was good. I was really glad to see that for you.
yeah, it was. It's nice because we continue to push the pace, and we're going to continue to push the pace. This one we really brought out some spicy booms. So much so that I guess the neighborhood, across the highway thought that there was a war going on at 60. The helicopters came in on Friday. So that was funny. Two Navy training helicopters. I think the Coasties were doing some work, and were doing flybys and were hovering over the AO. And we were all standing right there at the White House when they buzzed by, and they all looked at me. And I looked at them, and I was like, did somebody go above and beyond? Do I have to write an award? Right? And they're looking at me like, no way. And I heard somebody mention like, oh, if he was going to get, I think you told me your guys were like, well, if he was going to get helicopters, you'd get the Navy ones, right? But I didn't have anything to do with the two helicopters. They were doing training, approach training, probably, working on approach of a naval vessel, considering, in fact, they were aquatic helicopters. But that was really cool. The props, gave the staff the wash, and they were all like, okay, now we got to figure out getting the helicopter here. And I was like, oh, well, since the helicopters, we know they train here and they're already buzzing over the buildings that close, like, okay, I guess maybe we could get away with it too. But yeah, the spicy booms and then the increase in simfire rifles that we had out there, and the use of the simfire, how to properly manage it. Yeah, there is nothing like running into a room down a hallway where a blank fire rifle is shooting at you, other than what I would assume combat is. So when we're talking about simulation, that Fight Club thing in Vegas where they fight each other with the 9mm, or the sim round training. That would hurt equally much. So, you talk about how close can we get to the real thing? I think we're in a really good group spot right here, with everything. So really stoked. Safety above all. No safety issues this weekend. So super thrilled.
It was definitely next level for you. I didn't get to go to the first Redacted, so I don't know. I can't compare that. I've been to others, obviously. You know that. This is this one I got to go to, and we'll be back. Hopefully, if you'll have us, we'll be back in April for you guys. It was incredibly. I think I told you it was incredibly successful for us. The whole player base just took to us wonderfully. And I think everybody was successful, if I'm not mistaken. Grandpa was there.
Yep.
Everybody there. It was family helping family is what it felt like. We were all there for one purpose, and nobody was bigger or better than anybody else. We just were all there for each other, and it was a great feeling, a great weekend. Loving just the airsoft love all around. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we had the majority of, I think, they're all veteran-owned businesses, and then our buddy Brian. But no, that's the mission here, right? And it's about giving and giving to your brother, bringing your brother. So, guys, if you're watching this, share this with your friends. April 10th through the 12th, 2026, Ishtar Rising. We're going to take the Frago lane, and we're going to expand it through the entire weekend. And we're going to run 3 factions. You won't see red shirts. Everybody will be embed. And
okay.
We're going to try We're going to try something a little different. And we're going to crush it. So military will be free. 25% discount for first responders and law enforcement. So really stoked about April. So like, comment, share, and as always, stay tuned because we'll be dropping that description. We're just getting everything finalized with the map, expanding. So when people see the map, they're going to be like, oh, crap. You guys will be all right, dude. Just come ready to work, dude, because the VFA events are about not only giving to the veteran community and those who served in uniform, but giving it to yourself and putting 110% into playing as a team, teamwork, team leadership, physical activity. Get connected, baby. Oh, Pierce
already.
Oh,
he's got 5 months to save up. So
Pierce will win a free ticket.
You're absolutely right. It is Veterans for Airsoft, and it is a good mission for vets and all that. But there is definitely more there than that. Not everybody that played this weekend obviously was a vet. But to see everybody get together, to see the teams play together, to see off field, see everybody. Just didn't matter what they were wearing. Nothing like everybody was there. It was gonna. We're
gonna have a frequent flyer club. Like if you attend 3 VFA events, you get the 4th one free.
We have a raffle before the event to help cover the.
No, so Lori, what's great about the Battle of Six Flags? The Battle of Six Flags is going to set us up for the foreseeable future to be able to host these events, cover the expenses, but more importantly, already cover inside of the tickets that people do purchase. Those tickets are covered. So it's not about how much cash we're putting in our pockets. Obviously, we got to sell tickets. Obviously, we've got to fundraise in order to pay the bill to be at Cersei. But at the end of the day, help me give away 100 tickets. Help me give away 150 tickets.
Yeah.
I told these guys I'd love to have a 100% free event. I think it would be boring, though, because we wouldn't be able to have our friends there. And that's what's great about this is we're able to give to those guys. And then it offsets the team, right? Punch cards. See, Doug, that's what I'm saying. Like a frequent flyer punch card. Doug's like, I've been to every event.
Yeah, Doug's been to literally every event. Every event, not just VFA. Doug's at every single one of them. He doesn't have a home anymore. He has a tent that he carries around with him.
Doug is my home. Doug will always have a home. I love that too. Yeah. No, people travel so far to come to these events, and Sunday comes around too fast.
Yes.
And I gotta say goodbye. But what I like to say is I'll see you next one. Because it ain't goodbye. I'll see you on the next one, man.
Yeah, and these are I'm glad I'm getting I sometimes regret that I didn't start doing this sooner, that we didn't start going to Milsim sooner, that we didn't start traveling sooner. And with everyone I go to, I find a way to get there better. I find that the ability to spend more time there, find another way to get more involved there. It's really been fantastic. I'm loving it more and more every month as we're doing it, and because of you guys doing what you're doing and keeping it going. Without you guys, there are no events. And having good actors versus bad actors we need more of that, and it's fantastic. It's not great. See you soon. Yeah. Doug, I have a very understanding wife. But any last words? We got about a minute left.
Oh man, stay tuned. We're gonna have holidays. Happy holidays, everybody. We're coming up holidays. Celebrate them. Love your family. We'll see you.
Thank you very much for having us. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining us in the chat. And Brett, I'll see you soon for sure.
I agree. Later, guys.